Are you ready? All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Conversations. I'm just kidding. Hi, everyone. Hey, that was very loud.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I'm Phoebe,
And I'm Jay.
and this is episode what, 8?
Most likely, yeah.
Yes, episode 8 of Conversations with Phoebe and Jay, your Bible bestie. Yay! Okay, so technically, this is like a re-recording.
It's not technically, it is.
I mean, it is the re-recording
It
of
is.
this episode. Yeah, we recorded it
Last week.
the
or
first
week
time last
well.
week, but then we weren't liking the vibe, so
Yeah.
we said let's take it again.
Because you guys
So,
deserve the best.
yeah, so taking it again, and today we're going to talk about a very, 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 very interesting topic that I have selected because I'm a very interesting human being, and so today we'll be touching on identity as a Christian. And so I will start by asking you a question.
Hmm.
If someone asks you, who are you, how would you answer?
It's funny because I'm replaying the entire last episode.
The last year.
Or the entire recording that you guys never got to see in my head. And the first time I was saying that it depends on who is asking or what exactly they are asking concerning my identity. Like, do you want to know my name? Because that forms a part of my identity. Do you want to know my nationality? That forms a part of my identity. But if we are talking about for every Christian, not just me, Joel, I think that your identity should center around who or what God says you are.
Mm.
And for many people, that may mean like many different things.
Yeah.
And I struggled last episode to sort of convey my thoughts in an articulate manner, mostly because I was really hungry. That's honestly the truth. That's why the vibes were off. I was hungry and I was cranky the whole episode because I didn't get to I oh they were painting my house or something.
They weren't painting your house. They were watching football.
They were painting my house.
You were watching football.
Whilst they were painting my house.
Yeah, but painting your house was not the reason why I didn't eat. You were watching football.
So I didn't cook and then you came and we recorded. So it was a mess. But anyway, I think that fundamentally, as a child of God, your identity should be predicated on what God says about you. And as much as like the last time we were saying, we'll be referencing the episode you guys never got to see often.
Unfortunately, sorry about that.
It's fine. Maybe when we are done with the season, we'll release it as BTS, but it's whatever. Like there are different things that God says about you concerning different situations.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, you are able to take possession of all of that if you have the understanding that you are a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I see all of those things to say that fundamentally, before I am Joel, before I am Ghanaian, before I am a brother, a son, or whatever, I am a child of God. And everything else that I do, say, think, act, wherever I may find myself, here, in church, at work, on the road, which I don't often, I will be very honest. Sometimes I get really upset on the road and I don't act like a child of God. But it should like reflect in that. So
on that note, guys, thank you for watching this episode. No, but yeah, but I mean, fundamentally, usually, I think I shared in the last episode that I was watching
like the actual last episode,
like the
scrapped episode.
The scrubbed episode, yes. So I shared like the scrubbed episode that I was watching Trevor Noah's stand up comedy. I've forgotten which one. I watched another. I've forgotten which one. Probably his latest one, probably. And he was saying that when he went to France and then like he noticed that usually with Americans, when they ask you like who are you, they start with like what they do. So who are you? Oh, I am this. I am a blah blah blah. So maybe I'm a FIBA, I'm a pharmacist. That's how they start. Like if you ask like a French person, you talk about, where they come from, who their parents are, their history, blah 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 blah. And that's to say that our identity is is a mix and match of a lot of things, because your identity is determined by your culture, where you live, your location, your position in terms of birth, your job, even in your job, the position you hold in your job. Like, your identity is determined by a lot of things, and um, most of the time we tend to let one thing,
Define.
define as our identity. So you meet somebody and then their whole life is their job. That is their entire life. That is their entire person. Outside, if you take the job away, they have no other personality. You meet someone and what their talent is their entire identity. If that talent should go, we are in big trouble. We are
Yeah.
in big trouble. Yeah. And not to say that those things are bad, but it's good to know. Like I said, I didn't see somebody ask you who you are. Depending on who
It's
is
asking what
asking you
they're
that
asking.
question, you would have an answer for them. And I think as children of God, I I won't say this in a very, very, very not so counseling way, but sometimes I think we force ourselves to be not who we are.
Explain.
So, for example, if I'm hanging out with my friends that are okay, let's say for example, I've decided to like
No name dropping.
no name dropping. Like I've done like let's say you know the path, like take this path, follow Jesus Christ. I am constantly like I am walking. I'm saying this is the line I want to toe. This is the road I want to walk on. But then you also have friends who are not particularly in this particular like way
Yeah.
of moving. And because you don't want to be um should I say identified as like should I say holier than thou, or in our local language there's a term called krife. So when they say someone is krife, it means like they are Christian, like full of the word of God.
Overly Christian.
Overly
If
Christian,
there is
basically.
even such a thing.
There's even such a yes. And so because it's like you don't know how to express that side with those set of friends, but you also don't want to entirely hide, because when you hide, you feel guilty for hiding that side. So like now, you don't know how to behave, how you belong in that space. And if you are not confident in like who you are or who God says you are, I believe that is when like it becomes like an identity crisis of
Mm.
sorts, right? So identity as Christians is very important. Like you rightly said, if you look at the Bible, throughout the Bible, there are many, 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 many attributes given to children of God, given to
Yeah.
us as children of God. Some probably haven't even thought of, but there's a number of them. And I believe for every personality that you have that ties into your identity, there's a should I say a reassurance as to that
Mm-hmm.
personality in the Bible. And for every insecurity that you think is part of your identity, there's um um
Security.
let's say security security for that in the Bible. So I think um allowing ourselves to live by what society determines our identity as is, I believe, is something that a lot of young Christians, even sometimes I don't like, sometimes even I struggle with that sometimes, because you find yourself in spaces where um it's hard to, should I say, marry who you are as a Christian in that space. Even though I believe there's always a way to marry ahead. Yeah. So I think it's something. So I mean, it's
Mm.
it's something we'll touch on in the conversation.
I think we should stay there for a while, because I think I have no data to back it up, but I think now it might be a deviation from whatever you raise,
Aye.
but that's fine. I think that that's something that a lot of people, especially those who are, I wouldn't say new to the faith, but
Mm,
let's say new to actual closeness to God,
mm,
new to actually studying the Bible, new to actually praying and all that, not just going to church on Sunday,
yeah.
may have an issue with. So you realize that you are becoming a different person. So maybe before you were the type of person who, let me use myself as an example. That'll make it easier. I like music. Yeah, and I know it was because I like bread. I still like bread, so
Please,
before I continue,
before I continue, his birthday was
yeah,
last week.
last week.
Last week. So for all those who know what to love for bread, please send him bread.
There's a bread shop that has commented on our thing.
Which bread shop is that?
I haven't been on TikTok for a while because my life has been a little bit busy because of the whole birthday weekend. But I asked them to put their location. You and I will go there and we'll record a video.
Oh, I don't mind.
We'll record
I
a
actually
video.
don't mind.
They said if I taste that bread, my life will change. So
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I will take them
We
up.
look forward
I'll
to
take
that.
them up at their word. But
I
anyway,
look forward to it.
sorry. Back to
Yes, you
back to
like
business.
music. Yeah,
I
you like music.
I still like music, right? And back around like 2018, 2019, is when things started changing a little bit for me. Even it wasn't like it is now, but my favorite genre of music was hip hop. Not necessarily because it was like the best genre in the world or whatever, but I like music that has like bass, right? So Migos were some of my favorite artists. Like probably I shouldn't be mentioning like stuff like this on a Christian podcast, but that's why
Oh, I mean, it's not like you're encouraging. I just
I'm not
share
encouraging. I'm just saying,
share your experience.
like if you want your bass thumping in the car, Migos will get it done for you. It's quite unfortunate that Takeoff lost his life, but
Was it
it's
Takeoff?
so yeah, Takeoff. Offset is alive.
I thought it
Quavo is
was
alive.
Quavo. My bad.
No,
I,
Quavo
look,
is
I
alive.
don't follow these guys.
May he rest in peace. And so Migos, Young Thug, I don't like the new rappers, but Travis Scott was one of my favorites as well back at the time. And then when it comes to like Ghanaian art, I'm spending a lot of time because I want you to understand the kind of music that I like. When it was in Ghana, I was like Lamem. If I want to be very calm, is Manifest, but Lamem because their music is like bassy, right? So when I came back to the faith properly, like started actually deeping the word, started actually praying, it was very difficult for me because on one hand, like I love what the Bible is teaching me. On the other hand,
he wants his car to shake when he's driving.
that's exactly what I was going to say. I need my brain to bang on the side of my head. Like I need to feel that bass in my heart, right? And yes, I know you come say Christian hip hop exists, and probably you've not heard the kind of Christian hip hop artists I even listen to now. But still, bro, I'm telling you for a fact, there is no Christian hip hop artist that does the kind of like bass thumping music that those guys do. So I would read my Bible. Mind you, I'm not saying that listening to secular music is wrong. Everybody has their own convictions and everything. It's not the place for that argument. But for me, I guess the journey that God is taking me on, He had to take that part away from my life. But I fought with Him, right? Not because I'm saying I'm better than God, but if I come and I'm reading my Bible and I'm driving with my friends, my friends and I take road trips a lot. We're going on a long road trip. I'm not about to be playing like Smith. You see. So you find me play like if it's not even hip hop, it'll be Afrobeats, and even then it'll be like those that are heavy on the bass. So that at least we can all sing in the car. But the funny thing is when they are not in the car, I won't play it. I'll be listening to my own either worship or like Elevation, Hillsongs, Bethel Worship, and all those people. And it was like I am becoming somebody, but it's also like, oh, I need to be this way so that I don't also let my friends feel a certain type of way. And I guess the biggest one, or the biggest time that I felt like maybe a fraud. I'll be honest with you, maybe I felt like a fraud was on Saturday my friends and I went for a concert, right?
Mm.
And the concert gave you a bracelet. It's a 2-day concert. I've
Mhm.
forgotten who it was, but almost all the artists were there. My favorite, Lamem, Black Sheriff, all of those guys came. Everyone came. It was fun. It was fun. The thing was still on my hand. And I'm a Bible class leader, right? Sunday evening, I'm supposed to go for day 2 of the concert, but I can't take the thing off. Because one of those bands that if you take it off, it's broken.
That's it. Yeah.
So what do I have to do? I have to wear a long sleeve shirt and tuck the thing inside.
Damn.
So,
Wow. I never paid attention. What was this? I
don't
didn't
remember.
know this.
It was some Christmas. And that, in December, it's like concert.
Yeah,
after
back to
concert
back
after
after. I
concert.
mean, I don't go for it. I hardly go for these things.
It
So
was,
I don't pay
it
attention
was
to
like
them.
fun. So Sunday, I'm tucking the thing inside my sleeve so that no one will see it and ask me any type of question because it's like.
Hey, Bible class leader. Hey,
Yeah.
Bible class leader.
So it was after that Sunday, and I sat down and I was like, Charlie, like,
And then what happened?
oh, now you can ask my friends when we go on road trips.
Yeah, like
I
I'm saying, like when you go home, you're like,
Yeah.
like so. What's the point of all this? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Yeah,
Like, who am I lying to? Am I lying to my friend?
yeah.
Am I lying to myself? Or am I lying to God? And I think that a lot of people struggle with that. I don't know if you've ever had that.
Oh,
Experience.
I've had those moments where it's like I was saying, you, for example, maybe, how do I say? It's like, okay, I've just looked for a specific example, but then if you're looking at like generally, so
Yeah.
like you are doing something and then you tell like a white lie. You're like-
That one.
No, I'm like, I mean, we think white
not
lies
say
are
it's
not
okay,
bad,
oh.
but like it's
I'm
like
not say it's okay.
after you tell the white lie, it's like,
I could have just told the truth.
and interesting, it usually happens to me when I'm teaching the kids on Sundays. Like I'll say something, I'm like, but this week, what you're telling them what to do, you did something this week, oh, like just.
Right, I see what you. It's not like a white lie, but
It's not like you've done, like you do something and then you are telling the kids that, oh, for example, you are like, you have to like respect authority, blah 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 blah, and then do the week my boss will do something, I'm like I don't think, but in my head,
yeah.
what I'm saying in my head, if I should put it, they'll fire me on the spot.
I get it.
And then I'll tell them that, oh, when you go to school, respect your teachers and blah 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 blah. And then I'll go home and I'm like, but Ishiba, you and I both know, if your boss have a passport, you had opportunity, the things you would say.
You'd say stuff.
Yeah, but then it's true. It's something that people struggle with a lot, because again, similar to you in terms of music, I also love.
You still do.
I love my music.
do,
But the thing is, I do, but then the rate at which it's drastically reduced. Because back then, like, if I loved Cardi B, but I can't remember the last time. Because when I remember when her album came, every time she had a drop, I would go and look for it, download it. I could say the thing bar for bar. But then right now, it's like I just follow her on socials. I'm not really like interacting like that. You can hear me for this. I could care less. I'm a K-pop lover. You can't do me anything.
Every time she picks me up in the car, I complain.
You can't do me anything. I'm a K-pop lover. I don't understand the language, but I love K-pop.
The thing is, even the name of the song is not even displayed in English.
And to my fellow stays out there,
Charlie.
So I love Stray Kids. It's a K-pop group, and like I said, I had almost every time they had an album. I think, but for the past 2 or 3 albums, I'm not really engaged in it. So it's like there are certain things that we do. For example, let's say this whole drinking thing. You say Christians are not supposed to drink. I believe that is a personal conviction. If it's your conviction, it's your conviction. I don't mind.
We would argue, but there's no point because I'm on the other side.
I don't mind a little wine. I do not mind a little wine. I do not mind a little cocktail.
She knows I'm on the other side.
I do not mind. I don't take shots too, but a little wine, a little cocktail, I don't mind it.
Yeah. I don't even agree that we should be drinking soda. How much more like alcohol?
But like sometimes you find yourself in spaces where you are doing things and like you begin to question if you should be doing this, because now like, am I supposed to be doing this? And this, and almost, and interesting enough, these things are never really emphatically stated in the Bible that do not do this, do not. It's always like a gray area type situation. But I think again, I believe if your identity is in God and then you are ready to ask Him to help you, He would give you the answer you are looking for.
Mm.
Because, like you're saying, for some people, it's a conviction that they are not allowed to drink wine, any type of alcohol, like my brother here. Even if it is methylated spirits, if you sip, there should be no alcohol anywhere. There are some people who have that conviction.
Yeah.
And people, their conviction is that no secular music at all. That's him. And I think like it's a spectrum, right? And so you need to find your space in that spectrum. But then I believe that once you are grounded in who you are as a Christian, as your identity in Christ,
Mm.
it naturally flows to everything. Because let me use myself for example. I have a blog. The blog I have now, yeah, it's not active, but I just recently finished the website though. I'll send it to you so you take a look. But the blog I have now, the goal is Christian self care. I have had previous blogs before, all centered around self care, never Christian self care. And I've had blogs where I'm like, oh, once in a while you should write like Christian. And when I'm like, yeah, but like, not everybody's a Christian. Why should I be writing Christian stuff when people want everybody be going to be a Christian? Like, I'm not here to offend anybody. Like, I saw like me writing Christians are going to offend someone. So since I don't want to offend the person, but I know that Charlie, it's part of who I am. If who I am offends you, I apologize, but then there's nothing. Then please be offended on my behalf. I don't mind, right? If who I am, if me being a Christian is offensive to you, then that's unfortunate. But that is who I am. That's what I want to express. And so I think slowly as you grow, realize that once you are confident in who you are, even when you find in spaces where ideally you would feel like you would have to um, code switch, you wouldn't code switch. You would more or less, should I say, adapt to the situation, sort of code switching entirely. Right. So that is one thing when it comes to creating. But it's a struggle. That one is true.
Yeah.
It's a struggle that
Do you know, I
That is
actually
good.
remember what the turning point, like the real turning point was. It was actually Father's Day.
mm,
I think that concert moment started something.
mm,
It was Father's Day. And the weird part is, it didn't even strike me. For those of you who may not be aware, our church, Ebenezer Methodist Church, like everybody always tries to outdo each other. So like the men try to outdo the women when it's Mother's Day, and the women try to outdo the men when it's Father's Day. So Father's Day 2020 something. When they gave it to me, I was like, what am I using this for? It was like a tile, a verse tile.
I think my dad had one.
Mine was Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine
for
before.
men that they may see your good works and
Yes.
let them glorify Father
And it
in
was, I
heaven.
put it on my table, my desk in my room, right? So every day I wake up,
They are seeing it.
I'm seeing it. Every day I'm going to bed, I'm seeing it. So at some point that became like my, I don't know whether I should say mantra.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you understand that specific, like we said before, God says many things about us
Mm-hmm.
as his children. But one of the guiding principles is you are light.
Mm-hmm.
You guys cannot see the light that is from.
But because there's like they can
You
see
can
us
see us.
basically, yeah.
And that's what light does. No, in the darkest room, even if there's a pin of light, you see it.
Yeah.
And so, like you're saying, it shouldn't be like when you get somewhere, it's like, oh, I'm neon light. I get somewhere, I'm like blue. I get somewhere, I'm like yellow.
Yeah.
I am
RGB
light.
light.
I am light. Like wherever I go,
You should shine.
people must know that, oh, if you are like this boss is very annoying, but how come you
Are
are?
able to.
And I know we have settled here for quite a while, but it was unintentional, genuinely. Like we didn't plan it.
Well, yeah, this wasn't the
We didn't plan it. We didn't do any of this in the first episode. Not first episode, the scrapped episode.
Yeah. No, but it's, I mean, even if let's say let's just for a moment, even if you take away the God factor, right? If you don't know who you are, it's very easy to conform to any. I can use myself as an example. When I was much younger, let's say class 6 JHS, that is when you're still trying to establish like yourself and who you are and like your friends and all of that. And I realized that after I finished JHS, there are people that can say that can, and something I'll catch people saying that my wedding, if I'm supposed to do, if I'm supposed to have, if I not if I'm supposed to have, but when I have my wedding, when I get married, they'll be like, oh, okay, so JHS mates from JHS school, come and take a picture. From SHS, come and take a picture. And I'm like, who am I going to call? Because to be frank, I knew everybody in my, like, we had 4 classes, A, B, C, and D. I knew everybody name by name by name by name. I realized that almost every year and every term I was with a different group of people. So I don't have people that will say that, oh, this is like my best friend from JHS, or this is like my best friend from, even, and for SHS, I went to 2 different schools. I was in AIS and I left Corpus Christi. In AIS, I I wasn't really interacting much with people say that, oh, I have a best friend from AIS. But I can say that for Corpus Christi, probably because it was a smaller class, and where the girls were like 5 girls in the class. We're a class of 11. So 7 girls and like 4 boys or something like that. And so naturally you would gel with
each other.
you know each other. So for SHS, I can say that, oh, in fact, these are my friends from SHS. Even university, I didn't get, I believe, like a solid list of friends until I was about wrapping up. Right? Because at every point in time, it's like you are trying to belong in a sense and in a way, trying to fit in a particular way. And then like you fit in here, but then not in the full sense, right? Because there are certain things that you can do with them, you have in common, but then there are things that will compromise on your values, right? So when you are not confident in who you are, it's like finding a space to be in becomes very difficult, because you're in this group, you are this person, you're in that group, you're in this person, you're in this group. So you are never, there's no consistency. How they would see you in this group
I have a
is
question
not how
though.
they will see you in that group.
I have a question. It's actually from something that is said in the Bible. I want to quote the exact thing so that it's not like I'm boring my dream when I'm saying it. There's this thing that Paul says in First Corinthians, right? I understand the context. I understand his context was to make sure the gospel went out. But essentially in First Corinthians 9:19 through 23, he says that like he was all things to all men. So to the free, though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to win everyone, as many as possible. So when he was with the Jews, he acted like a Jew. When he was under those that believed the law, he acted like he believed in them. Not believed, like he was subject to the law. To those that did not have the law, he became one that did not have the law. To the weak, he became weak. To the I became all things to all men, so that by all possible means I may have some. Would you say that if, I know that's not the context you were talking about, but if, let's say, I am with a certain group of people, I act in a certain type of way. I'm with another group of people, I act in another type of way. And my overarching goal is to make sure that at the end of the day, all of them come to God. Would you say that that is, we talked about identity crisis in the last episode, but would you say that is like an identity crisis, or it doesn't qualify?
So how I see what Potter was, I feel like it's more like adaptation in a way. So even so, I think if you look at, he said he was all things, so like you're saying, when he was a Jew, he was a Jew. He behaved like the Jews. When he was with those who study the law, he believed I used to study the law. He was in the week. But if you take all of that out, essentially he still maintains himself as Paul, a follower of Jesus Christ. His goal is to spread the gospel. There are people that with this person, let's say an Apple Pencil, right? When they come here with this phone, they essentially change everything about them to suit being like an app,
Right.
like an iPhone.
So
When they move from being an iPhone, they are not with the iPhone, they get back to being an Apple Pencil. When they come with an iPad, they try their possible best to become exactly like that iPad. Once they are away from the iPad, so it's like essentially if you strip everything from them, they still don't have like a foundation of who they are.
mm,
Do you understand? For me, for example, I'm a pharmacist. If you take pharmacist away from me, I'm still a fever. Nothing changes.
right.
Maybe if you take my family name from me, then I can cry. If you take my family name there, it will worry me small. But then essentially, I am still a fever.
Mm,
Like, so I think when I was doing the research for this, there was a part that says that your talents, achievements, your jobs, whatever, they are basically accessories. They are not who you are. If you take them away, you should still have like, because when you take off your watch, you take off your bracelet, you're not throwing your entire being away. You are still you. So that is more adaptive. Identity crisis is when like you don't know who you are, and so wherever you go, you change entirely to fit that space.
so not adapt. Well, I was going to say chameleon, but chameleons adapt. They
The
don't
chameleon
change.
don't change. So let's like a shapeshifter.
Yeah, like a butterfly. So like caterpillar to a butterfly.
Caterpillar to a butterfly. So it's like I'm in a space where
Mm,
ideally me, I don't like drinking, but because everybody is drinking,
I
let me
thought
drink. I
so.
have to also drink some.
True.
Do you
I see what you
understand?
mean.
Or maybe I don't like horror movies, but because I want to be cool with these guys, I want to watch a horror movie by force, by force.
Actually, it's-
Like, so it's like you are
okay.
forcing yourself to do things you otherwise wouldn't do if you were left alone.
Mm,
Because you want them to say that, oh, you're a part of us, you belong with us. Like you are also,
I get it.
yeah. And
I
that
get
is
it.
for that is I then I was like when I was in JHS for that is where I sort of stood in jail. So that's why like I found myself in different groups.
Mm,
It was when I believe maybe I think SHS they are understand like, you know what, I can't keep trying to be like every day there's a new person I'm trying to be. And fortunately the family values that I have in my house, there are certain things that you can do. I would never do such a thing. Right. But then so
I've learned not to say that.
I mean like not never, but like it gives you pause.
Yeah.
It makes you think for a bit before you're like, this is not something that if my parents hear about it, they'd be happy about. So I think eventually I was able to be like, okay, sit down, look at yourself. What are your traits? What are you good at? What do you like? What do you not like?
Yeah.
If you look at the people that you work with, I'm not saying don't work with them. Obviously, there will be commonalities amongst all things, but then don't be a square peg in a round hole. Like, don't try so hard to fit into a particular box. If something that they have labeled you as, oh, she's quiet, and so because they say you are quiet, at all times you are quiet. Even when somebody is offending you, you are quiet. You are not
Yeah.
willing to do because she's a very quiet person, or oh, she's very arrogant. So even when you don't come across as arrogant, you try to be like arrogant. So it's something that once you are able to solidify who you are, like identify that this is who I am, this is what I like, these are things that okay, I can say I can change about myself, these are some things that I can compromise in. Yeah, especially I'm not willing to compromise in any way. So maybe like your faith, your
Yeah.
culture, your family, these are places that you will not compromise. When it comes to, let's say, your talent, or even your talent, maybe not compromise per se, but like you're willing to like grow and adapt in that area. You just need to know that base. And again, like you said, like I've said, once the God factor comes in, and that is a foundation that you build it on. Because
Yeah.
it said a wise man builds his house upon the rock, and then when the rains came, the house was still standing. Once he is that foundation, nobody can come and tell you anything.
I mean, they
Even
can, but
if they can, but then like you know that you have something to fall back on. Even if you have your job, you have risen through your ranks in the job to get to the highest position, and something that you have that has been like your goal. Finally achieve that when you say that, oh, you know what, the company is laying people off. So unfortunately, we have to sack you because if your foundation, if your identity is in him, it will hit you, but it won't hit you to the point where it's like now you don't know what to do about your life at all,
Yeah.
right? Because I remember the only reason why I went back to singing, because I used to be in the choir and then I ran away for reasons I really do not remember. I don't know why. Up to today, I don't know why I left, but I left the choir. And then I was in school, university, and then I fell sick. I got a flu, and I was like, and there was some reason my mind went back to when I was in AIS. When I was AIS, I had two friends, and then we used to like joke, like we all sang. We used to like joke, like prep when after dining we are going for prep singing, we'll be talking, laughing, singing together, and all of that. So I was just lying in bed, the lights off, and I was like, oh, I really miss like like singing and all that. And you know when you get a cold, your voice changes and all
Yeah.
of that. You can't really. I'm like, I really, 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 really miss singing. Like I miss like standing on the stage and then like performing. I miss like hearing my voice and knowing that Charlie, the girl has voice. Like I miss all of that.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me at that time, I had a friend who was part of a particular Christian group. So they call Sasa. It was a singers at in Kaiba Sasa, but
Proceed.
basically, yeah, we're writers, singers, artists, but basically a Christian group. And so I'm like, oh, I want to follow him for one of these. So I think I had recovered and I went to visit him, like, oh, he's going for Sasa. I'm like, oh, I want to follow you. I want to follow you and let's see what's up. I went and then I started like singing. That's the first time I wrote my own song. Stood on stage, I had a performance. Like I was like, oh, like I actually really miss this. And then I came home, and then I was trying to run away from all dogs, and then they caught me. Yeah, they caught me. But when they caught me, I didn't feel like I was angry. I was actually like, okay, it's actually not a bad thing to do, right? So right now, if you take the singing away from me, whatever me, I'll still sing. If my voice is not nice, me, I'll still sing. Like if you have a solid foundation, you are able to record that. Oh, this is who I used to be. Why did I stop being that way? It wasn't the bad thing, it was a good thing. So why did I stop? Then you get back to it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So I think what Paul said was more about adaptation, not entirely
Metamorphosis.
thank you, changing who you are in its entirety. So I don't think I feel like it's very should I use the word fluid?
It's not fluid. Identity is not fluid.
Not fluid.
How
But then
I think how it displays itself
yes,
can be fluid.
can be fluid. But identity itself is not fluid because I believe, and when you're reading this, what came to mind was like, I believe that if you should pick different people from every aspect of your life, there should be at least one thing in common they will say about you.
Yeah.
Your friend from work, your friend from school, your friend from church, your mom, your dad, your sibling, your cousin, your auntie.
Yeah.
If you pick 10 people from different aspects of your life, even though you present differently to each one of them, there should be one thing that at least 5 of them say that, oh, this is who Joel is.
Yeah.
And that's in itself is an identity. If you have 10 people saying one thing about you in common, whether it's different English that they say, but basically the same thing about you, then I believe you have a solid identity. But if I come Joel again,
it's a label. I would say it's a label.
I mean, fine.
I would say it's a label.
Fine. But at least there's a commonality in there.
The reason why I'm saying label is because the entire premise that we built this, we didn't go into it, or we are not even going to go into it in this episode. We might in the coming seasons, but it was on the back of like Thomas being given a label and then
Mary
the
Magdalene.
Yeah. But if people are saying the same thing about you, it doesn't mean that's who you are.
Well, true.
It means that's what you do.
True.
You see, and I think I'm not saying this to like make you feel bad, but I think that's something that sometimes people have a challenge with, like even things that they say about themselves becomes their identity as opposed to being a label. Because the good thing about a label is you can peel it off.
Yeah, take it off. Yeah, true.
But an identity, can you change? You're right. Don't answer that question. But like the fact is, if I am Ghanaian, fine, I might be able to get like a Canadian passport. I might be able to get a UK
I
passport.
think the Canadian embassy or what?
I might be able to get like a UK passport or whatever.
But the love for bread and egg would never
I'll
leave
still be
you.
Ghanaian. Like my passport can say one thing, that's a label.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, culturally, traditionally, mentally, maybe even like I was going to say spiritually, but I don't know. But everything about you will be Ghanaian.
Yeah.
You can go and stay there for 10 years and start doing in it. But Charlie, if we do Kosiani Meko, you go chop. If we give you Nkati burger, you go chop, bro. If we give you jollof, you go chop.
I remember there was a time when, so I have a little sister who is out there. She's been there, I don't know how long.
A
though.
good while.
A good while. Probably almost 10 years actually,
Yeah.
probably, because when she left, I was in first year, that was 2016.
See,
It's
10
almost,
years.
basically 10 years. And then one day when she's like, oh, do I know what she was like, if I do what I miss from Ghana, so what do you I miss sachet water?
See,
I was like, sachet,
there you go.
sachet. Like she made the feeling of like getting water and then using your mouth to tear and then drink. She misses sachet water. I'm like, wow. And you know, we usually love that when they come in, when they carry Ghana. But it's something that's like, if you were there, you would do something.
Yeah.
If you came and then you go and there's no Gary there, and you pack Gary and
taking
go.
a part
Like
of
yeah,
home with
yeah.
right. And that's it. I think. Should we go there?
Where?
The thing about labels, we've not done it before, right?
Not really, but we can touch on it. Well, there was a portion where I spoke about people who were mislabeled, basically.
Then we
And
should go there.
yeah, we can go there.
We're 40 something minutes.
Yeah, we can go there.
The thing about labels, if you don't become, or if you are not conscious of it, it will become your identity.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest examples is Thomas. I wanna read it because now I don't like paraphrasing again, so that people will not say that like me, I'm doing some things, but I'm coming. Aha. So why do we call Thomas a doubter? Why have we labeled him a doubter? Why has that become his identity?
Because he wanted to confirm Jesus was Jesus Christ.
Through what? Touching the thing, the side.
He wanted to see and then put his hand. He doesn't put his hand to the holes. But that's crazy. That I wouldn't. But yeah,
Okay.
He wanted to put
and we've all run with it, right? Thomas is a doubter.
And that is a doubt. There's even a term, doubting Thomas. It has basically been like, it's now a term for people who doubt. You call them doubting Thomases, yeah.
And I feel like it's a personal opinion. Any preacher, pastor, anybody can be free to disagree. I'm not saying that this is my opinion.
Yeah.
John chapter 20, verses 19 to 23. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fears of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he had said that, he, Jesus, showed them, the disciples, his, Jesus, hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. The disciples, Jesus showed them his hands and his side. So if now me, Thomas, have come, and the 10 of you are telling me that, oh bro, when you weren't here, Jesus came and he did what? He showed us his hands, showed us his sides. What will I see?
Until me too. How to see some?
Yes. Yes. Until me too. I've seen, because like, imagine this. When Mary Magdalene went to see the two men, she said it was empty.
Yeah.
And she ran and came to tell the disciples.
Yeah.
They didn't believe her either. Yes.
Peter and John who ran
there.
Yeah.
They didn't believe her either. They ran there. Do we call John doubting John? Or doubting Peter? Even Peter cried. Like, we don't even call him a snake Peter or betrayer Peter.
Sellout Peter.
We don't call him that. We don't call him that. But John, Thomas, everybody else got that experience. And he's like,
I also want some of the experience.
Bro. if me I no see what you people see, I don't believe it. So I feel like the reason why we say that is because after a week later in when they were in the house again and Thomas was with them this time, again the doors were locked. Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here, see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Right? And then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not yet seen but yet believe." So all of this is based on the premise that Jesus says, "Stop doubting and believe." But every disciple, every single one of them, when Mary Magdalene came to tell them that
Jesus
is
has
alive,
risen.
they didn't believe.
Well, true.
They didn't believe. They're two we call them disciples. The two disciples of Jesus, Cleopas, and they don't mention the other guy's name, on the road to Emmaus.
Yeah.
Jesus comes to them, and they said, they are like, the disciples and the women are saying that Jesus is alive. They know they sit up, so they are leaving.
They are
going for
leaving,
down.
yeah.
We don't call Cleopas doubting Cleopas,
Yeah.
or the doubting people on the road to Emmaus. So why is Thomas doubting Thomas? I mean, I feel like justice for my, I was gonna say just for my nigga Thomas. In fact, justice for my nigga Thomas, but
When you go and ask him in the heaven, like I said the last episode, yeah, I have things that are written down.
and it, like, think about it. Peter cut someone's ear off.
Yeah.
We don't call Peter
Violence, Peter.
or Peter the ear cutter.
Peter the ear cutter.
We don't do that. But when it's Thomas, it's like doubting Thomas. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like it's against my personal opinion. Sometimes we allow specific instances, the same way I saying people use their jobs, their family, their position in church,
Yeah.
whatever, to like somebody. If let's say you, I cannot call you Ifiba. I have to call you Bishop, Doctor, Apostle, General Overseer. Otherwise, you will not respond. So you have identified yourself by your title. You cannot be called on without them mentioning your title.
That's not to say those who deserve respect should be given
Yeah,
respect. Like
obviously,
if it's out of reverence, that's fine. But then if
100%.
it's like you are obligated to call them,
Yeah.
imagine my mother said, "Doctor," she says, "At home, call her Dr. Mommy."
You
By
see.
force,
see.
like thunder by fire, call her Dr. Mommy.
You call your wife Dr. Wife.
Dr. Honey.
Like you can do that as a joke.
Because that was a joke, but then like if it's
Yeah.
like if you don't do it, she gets upset. Then
Yeah. You see, if you allow labels to define you, it becomes a whole thing. You can take that upon yourself as an identity. And I think the other one that you guys didn't see it. It was horrible, by the way. I didn't speak. It was an hour and 15 minutes, and I didn't speak for more than 5 minutes because I was really tired.
And I was
really
rambling
hungry.
on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
I feel like my thoughts were all over the place.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's carry on.
The other person that we talked about, or we were supposed to talk about, was the woman with the issue of blood. That's how I even call her.
That's what she's even
Called in
the Bible.
You see, but when Jesus addresses her, he says his daughter. I think she's the only one in the Bible that Jesus actually calls daughter. We don't call her the woman that Jesus called daughter,
or the woman that healed with the issue of,
or the woman that touched
Jesus,
touched. The woman that touched the hem of his garment. We don't do that. We all identify. Even the crazy thing is, she doesn't even have the issue of blood anymore.
Yeah, but we still
like we meet her 12 years when she has the issue of blood.
Interestingly enough, was it this week? I don't know if you know this guy, Ayo. He's a Nigerian skit maker. He does like these Christian.
You know me.
Okay, so he's a Nigerian skit maker. I don't know. Maybe how I'll put this. I'll probably share one of his skits on our Instagram story. So basically, that skit based on the Bible character. So the very first one I watched was "Releasing We Don't Judge" Bible. So it was like there was Cain and then there was Eve. So like Bible question that's how he has done like Real Housewives of the Bible. Yeah, Potiphar's wife, Delilah, basic stuff like that. I think recently he did a skit where it was about popular characters in the Bible that have like they're popular but we don't know their names. So an example was the one with the issue where like so he always like play act like role asking herself like, yes, I know her, but at least nobody knows my name.
Yeah.
Because there are many people that like they are very popular, but we don't know the adulterer, the woman the one they want to stone to death.
Yeah.
We don't know her name. The thief on the cross, we don't know his
Mhm.
name. Lot's wife goes by Lot's wife, we don't know her name.
Yeah.
And then
Potiphar's wife.
Potiphar's wife, we don't like. There are a lot of people in the Bible who we talk about a lot of the time. We pick lessons from a lot of the time, but we don't really know. We know their labels, but we don't know
Yeah.
their name.
And the thing about that is you are supposed to focus on the things that they did, or the thing that made them maybe better or worse, and use that as a lesson in your life.
Yeah.
And it should be the same for whatever labels that you have put on yourself, people are putting on you.
Yeah.
If people are labeling you as a lazy person, you shouldn't identify as a lazy person. You should strive to become hardworking.
Productive.
Productive. Yeah. Productive is a much better word.
Because you can be hardworking and not be productive.
If people are labeling you a womanizer, don't glory in it. Don't be one of those people that say, that's how I am.
Yeah.
That's how I am. It's who I've been all my life. It's not true. When you came out from your mom's womb, you weren't whatever you are saying you were. Everything you are, you learnt.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So you can unlearn and learn new things. How about you learn the things that... Did I say this in the scrapped episode? I don't think so, but when you want to know, you don't know anything about your phone.
Yeah.
And you want to learn how to use it, you would go either to the manual or
the manufacturer's
the
website.
manufacturer's,
Yeah, I think
whatever.
you said something
I've
like
said
that. Yeah,
before,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
If it's a car, you do the same thing. You read the user manual. So if you're a human being, and for all purposes and intents, you believe that God made you, why not go to his manual? I use the term loosely, his manual, which is the Bible, to find out what he actually says
About you.
and then live by that. I don't know what your opinions on that are, because
Oh no, I mean I agree, because when you're talking about label, one thing is the way you labels can come from
anywhere,
and because I think I said this in one of the episodes that every interaction with people I've had that have become my friend, a running thing is, oh, when I first saw you, I thought you were going to be mean, or I thought you look arrogant, or you look rude. Yeah, you know, he had the same sentiment. Until I started to feel like, oh, you're actually really nice and all of that. That is a label that I've been given.
yeah.
Initially, I don't really understood it until one day, Daddy, I love you. But there was one, he went for a program. My father does pensions and stuff. I think he went when he was on a panel, and they took a picture of him. And if I show you that picture and I ask you, you probably see, you'll be like, oh, why does your dad look angry? I'm like, oh, I was like, he's not angry. He's just paying attention. That's his face. That's just who he is. My dad is a very, very personable man. And all the male friends in the church will tell you that when they were telling him, Mr. Polly, and I'm like, oh, Mr. Polly is actually go and talk to him. You talk to him and you see that he's a very, very nice gentleman. So I've also had that thing throughout. Now, if it's something that I said that I'm going to take off myself, as that's my label,
Yeah.
I'm arrogant, I don't think I would have any friends.
Yeah.
And I'll say one person can say you are arrogant, another person can say that, oh, she's nice. Someone call you a liar, someone call you that, oh, she's honest. So different people give you different labels. I try, because if you want to, then that is when you have your identity crisis. Because now you want to conform to every label that has been given to you,
or fight against
all of them. And I'll be honest, see, there are some traits that we have. They are not the best, but then if you know you have it, you know how to work against it. If they call you arrogant, and you know that truly, truly, truly in your heart of hearts you are arrogant, and like he was saying, you were a Christian, the answer to how to deal with that arrogance is in the Bible.
Yeah.
If they say
next time we should have a physical Bible, because it's
fact,
not
you
nice.
know, it's not
Bible.
yeah.
My Bible is here, but it's big.
If they are saying that, oh, you are quiet, and you feel like, no, you don't want to be quiet, you want to learn how to be able to speak up, open up.
Yeah.
The mentor you want to look for, an example, you find it in the Bible. I think when I was reading my notes, I think I've said it, like there was a list of identities that was given to us in the Bible. Like it's a lot. You have adopted, victorious. You are, if you want to, if you think you are poor, you are rich. It's in the Bible. If you think you have no inheritance, you are an heir. It's like every single um identity you want to fight against, you want to adapt, you want to change, you want to grow, you want to develop. It's all in the Bible. If it's something you truly want to work on, you will find like examples of the person, and not like, I'm not saying like, oh, just scriptures, but the people in the Bible. But there are people like that. If you look at Moses, for example, Moses was a Hebrew.
It's
He
also an
was
Egyptian.
raised Egyptian. He was a stammerer. He had anger issues. One human being has all these traits that
Mhm.
I believe you can identify with. But even if you look at the Bible, you're one of the greatest, like the people, like one of God's best friends, or one of God's really close friends. Jacob was a deceiver. Jacob in this era would have been a fraud boy. He would have been a fraud boy. But last, he slept and saw angels ascending and descending. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So, like for every personality, I don't even say identity, but for everything negative, good or bad, that you identify with, there's always a way around it, whether to emphasize, whether to de-emphasize, whether to change it, unlearn it, relearn it, like whatever it is, there is always a way in the Bible. And I'm not saying that just reading the Bible, but even when you're reading the Bible, you need to ask God to, I think it was David that said that, asked God to show him his heart.
Mm.
And because you can't just say, I'm just reading the Bible for reading's sake, then you are not going to get much out of it. But if you're asking God, that God, show me the places where I could be better, or the places where I should scrap entirely, or the places where I need to adapt. Show me these things, give me direction. It will surprise you that, and sometimes it could be like the most random verse.
Mm.
And there are that, oh, this verse actually speaks to me. You go and like you have a different um understanding of the
Mhm,
verse in
mhm.
relation to what you are dealing with, whatever identity crisis you are battling with. And it's I think it's very interesting, because when I was reading, or when I was doing the research and I looked at Bible characters who were wrongly, or who struggle with identity, you find Esther is an example of what we spoke about in terms of people trying to change who they are entirely. She would try to hide the fact that she was
Hebrew.
Hebrew, even to the point where her uncle came and said that, Charlie, don't kill us. So she's like, yeah, but if I go and say it right now, they'll kill me too. And then what's up? It was until her uncle told her, you were made for such a time as this, that she's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm Hebrew, not a bad thing. Maybe what for all that is why I was born Hebrew, to save them. There are people like that. They will hide who they are, even if it is it doesn't benefit where they came from. They will hide it because maybe they are embarrassed, maybe they are scared, maybe they are in denial. You never know. But then I feel like there's no use in hiding, even if it's a bad thing. It's better to know that you have this issue and then work towards solving it than to not know at all.
I think probably the biggest label which we consistently identify ourselves with, which hampers our lives as Christians and as children of God, is sinners.
Mm.
There's this thing that people say all the time: we are human. We are only human.
Mm.
We're only human. Alluding to the
It's
fact that
only human.
alluding to the fact that humans are imperfect, right?
Yeah.
So we're bound to fail. We're bound to sin. We're bound to make mistakes. And all fair. It's all fair. But we use that usually in like defense
As an excuse.
of something that we know that as children of God we shouldn't do. Right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you might think that it just is something that you say.
Mm.
But anything that you reinforce to yourself.
You start to live by it.
You become it or you live by it. So if maybe first time it was the devil that puts it in your mind that you did this, it's okay. It's a one-time thing. It's not bad. Like you watched something you weren't supposed to watch, did something you weren't supposed to do, you said something you weren't supposed to say. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Next time he says the same thing. It's okay. Yeah, just human. Third time, you are a sinner. Do you know that? Like do you know that? Like you are saying that God died for you, but look, this is how you're supposed to speak to the person. This is how you're supposed to behave. Are you sure God died for you? Are you sure you've accepted God as your savior, Jesus as your Lord and personal savior? Somebody that has accepted Jesus, but look at the things you are doing.
Yeah.
And before you know, oh Charlie, it be true. Like, I'm not sure Jesus died for me because
The way I'm moving.
yeah, I'm not really sure I've accepted Christ as my Lord and personal savior. Like, maybe instead of fooling small, let me just go all out.
Yeah.
You know, some people might never get to that extreme. Some people might just teeter-totter on that, like, oh, I'm human. I'm human. But that's not your identity.
Yeah.
That's not your identity. And one of my favorite verses, and I hope everyone knows this verse as well. 2 Corinthians. I don't keep quotations in my head. And my mentors usually blast me for that. And I would say I apologize and I would change, but it's not true for
He's
the
only
foreseeable
human.
future. Real. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says that God made him who had no sin be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. So that's who we are. We are the righteousness of God. So yes, I am Jacob, but I'm also Israel.
Yeah.
There are days that Jacob might show up. And the funny thing is, go back and go and read Genesis. I think it's from like 27 onwards. That's like Jacob's story.
30, 27.
Go back and read that story. After God calls him Israel for the first time, every time he acts like Jacob, the author refers to him as Jacob.
Yeah.
And every time he acts like Israel, the author refers to him as Israel. So my inference from that is that we all are Israel, but we all have Jacob tendencies within us. There may be some days where Jacob might show up, but God does not call you Jacob anymore. God calls you Israel. Your friends might call you Jacob. You might call yourself Jacob, but God does not call you Jacob anymore. Same thing with Simon and Peter. Peter is the rock. Simon is the fisherman. Simon is the
hard guy.
Yeah, like cut your ear off. I'm not letting you go to the cross. God forbid that you die.
Guy. Yeah.
Peter is like, this same Jesus who you guys crucified is the one through whom we have received salvation.
I love you 3 times.
That's it. And I say all of this to say that we are the righteousness of God. In Romans, it tells us that we once were slaves to sin. Now God has justified us, he has redeemed us, and he has made us slaves to righteousness. That is who we are. So I no longer am driven by my innate human desires to have sex indiscriminately, for example, which might show itself up in like lust through watching porn or masturbating, or maybe even actually sleeping with women indiscriminately. That might be some of my innate human tendencies, but I must not allow myself to be driven by that any longer. There may be days where I'm saying there might be days where I fall, but that is not my identity. This is, I'm just using as an example, but you might have your own peculiar sin, you might have your own peculiar sin. Do not let that define you.
Yeah.
God does not see you as a sinner. Light. Whenever he looks at you,
he sees his baby boy or baby Jesus. Girl.
So if you are defining yourself as something other than what God defines you as, and you are living according to that definition, you are living a subpar life.
Mm.
Imagine being what's the guy's name? Not King Charles.
Prince George.
The next in line,
William.
William. Imagine being Prince William. You know that come what may, father's gonna die. Eventually, when he dies,
You sit on the throne
you will ascend.
and your face be on the pound.
And they'll say, God bless the king, and
Yeah.
they'll be talking about. A God save.
God save the king.
And it'll be you they'll be talking about. So even before you ascend that throne, you live royal. Now imagine being Prince Andrew and living like you are some Ghanaian somewhere, like you are a trotro
Oh, you
mate.
mean
I'm
Prince
not
Will-
like
you
I'm not
mean
saying
Prince William? Because
William, sorry, William. Like imagine being Prince William and then you are living like you are a trotro mate or something. Like you don't know
You
or
don't know, yeah.
I'm living a subpar life. I'm not insulting social media or anything. I'm just
You're
that's
not
like
living to your full potential.
exactly. That's just the gap that I could use to describe it. So I don't know how we got here because I didn't plan to talk about
It's
this.
all under identity, though. I mean, it's what you did say is it is true.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't plan to talk about it, and
even from the very big Genesis, the first few chapters in the creation story, it says we were made in His image.
yeah,
And we know His image to be merciful, to be righteous, to be pure, to be holy, to be good,
to be
to
loving,
be all, to be loving, to be comfort, all
kind.
these things. And so if we continue to be like, oh me, I just have anger issues, or as for me, that's how I am, I catch people off, or as for me, if do something to me, I have to do something to you back. That is just my nature. And then you start with the whole I used to be like that. Okay, well not okay, I never really fully bought into that whole I'm Scorpio, I'm Pisces and all
She's
of that.
snitching on herself.
I actually I think it's not you see people
I think the cough syrup is working because
yeah.
where I'm going right now.
Well, like there are people
I'm
that
not on the
define
air, though.
themselves by, oh, Capricorns are very emotional. That's why, like people like that. Me, I just okay, I was born in November, so that was the Scorpio. But the personalities weren't really. But like, if you decide to live yourself, like you're saying, that way, you begin to trick yourself. Actually, you begin to normalize a lot of things.
Yeah.
Normalize your anger. Normalize your ability to cut people off immediately. Normalize your ability to lie. Normalize your ability to tip around. Normalize your ability to.
You get good at it as well.
And you get really good at it because you always have an excuse for it. And sometimes, not always, and it's not even always, oh, I'm human. It's always like, oh, when I go to God, God will forgive. Or when you fall, you should get back up. Like, don't worry, this is my one time fall and I'll get back up eventually. Like, we always find a way to excuse certain things when that shouldn't be the case. Like I don't know how we got here, like you're saying, but there are lots of things. I feel like identity is a very, very extensive topic because honestly, if you don't know who you are, whether as a child of God, whether as a person, as a human being, if you do not know who you are, you do not know what you stand for, you do not like there's this I've forgotten the phrase, but I don't know if you watch Hamilton, the Lin Manuel. But one of the characters something like if you stand for everything, then what do you fall for? If you stand for everything, if you agree to everything, you want to do everything, then if something comes, what exactly are you going? Because that means you'll be switching sides almost all the time. If yes, I agree to everything, you stand for everything, then what are you going to like? What exactly are you going to say that, oh, if this thing happens, I will die for it. I'm ready to fall for it. Because you always find a way to jump ship at all times.
Yeah.
And it's not you should have something that grounds you. You should have that say that this is something that I will not compromise on. I will not compromise on in any way, shape, even if you come and then it is my life. I am willing to give my life up for that thing. And honestly, the perfect, like you're saying, Jesus is a perfect example, because if Jesus, in his, I think spoke this about in the second episode where we said he was able to talk to everybody. He was with the adulterers, he was with the taxpayers, he was with the lame, the everybody. At the end of the day, when it came to dying for people, even though he said that, let this cup of suffering pass over me, but then they not my will but yours be done, Lord. That is something that you would say about yourself, that yes, I'm struggling with this thing, but I've lost my job, I've lost my talent, or I'm now relearning my talent, or I've lost my parents, or like I've lost something that I have labeled as, or one of my things that I've said that this is who I am. But even though I've lost it, at the end of the day, the one who gave it to me is there. He can give it to me. He can give me something else. He can give me a better thing entirely. It could be you lost your job today. Tomorrow you become an entrepreneur. You're no longer an employee, you're an employer. It's a lot of things. So I think once you have a solid foundation in who you are as a Christian, even when that little voice of the devil comes and says that you are a sinner, you are a sinner, you are a sinner, you look at the Bible and say that no. The Bible says that if I confess my sins to him, he is faithful and just to forgive me. The Bible says that his son died on the cross for me, and so therefore I am saved. The Bible says that I was made in his image, and so this is who I am. If you feel like you are unloved, the Bible says that God is love, and if God is love, because he loved, because we love because he first loved us, then you have love. If somebody comes up to you and says that you have nobody to take care of you, the Bible is in there. He is there to provide for you. The Lord, but my Lord shall supply all my needs. Every time somebody comes to poke a hole in who you are, if you know you are a child of God, you can point to the Bible and say that no, what you are saying is a lie. This is what is the truth right here. My identity is who he says I am, not who you say I am. And your life will be better for it, in all honesty. And I know it's a struggle. Sometimes we struggle. I struggle. I'm growing old. Eventually I'll become a wife. I'll become a mother. I'll become a grandmother, a great grandmother. I am a sibling. I am a daughter. I am an employer. I am this. I am that. I do a lot of things. But then the core of it is that I am a child of God. And that's basically it. So yeah, I know the cough syrup has taken full effect on you though. But that's all I have to say. I mean that's it.
That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That's the end. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.
The boy is gone, but what cough syrup is that?
Benylin or Charlie.
What people still doing Benylin?
Let's end.
Yeah, anyway, so this has been episode, is it 8 or 9?
I think it's 8.
Are you sure? I think it's 9.
If it's 9, we're forgetting it.
Yeah, either 8 or 9, but
a lot has happened.
But good news and bad news.
Let's end.
Yeah, but that's the ending.
Let's end.
Yeah,
and then we'll record the news. We'll record it.
Anyway, you don't worry. I'll handle it.
No, I wanted us to do it like
a separate video entirely. Okay. So this has been Conversations.
Why did you forget the name?
For a minute. What's our identity for a minute? For a hot minute. But yeah, this has been Conversations with Phoebe.
And Jay.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Peace out.